How is it possible for the Big Bang model to remain constant when the models of the galaxies and the cosmic systems are continually changing? If the beginning of the universe is named the Big Bang, and the end of the universe the Big Crunch, I have a simple question. What is now if there is no forever? What is justice if there is no vindication? What is wrongdoing if there is no punishment? How can it be said that I exist if before my birth and after my death I do not exist? Why do I believe in values? Why do I fight for my ideals? Why do I strive to understand myself and the universe if there is no predestination? Did Christ come to earth to save humanity only temporarily? Was he himself, I wonder, temporary, since he never existed before the Big Bang, and he will surely vanish after the Big Crunch? Come, let us journey together to the infinite world of the eternal now, which is our present duty. Come, let us learn what we must learn from that cosmic wisdom, so that we may rise to the level of the true and eternal powers of creation. Aristotle. Evstathios Boudimos, Professor of Physical Sciences and Philosophy at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and member of the Academy of Athens, is a very good friend of mine. We have common interests, and we frequently probe the depths of the world of ideas. In November 1999, Professor Boudimos presented a lecture at the Academy of Athens on the works of Aristotle. Aristotle was born in Stagira, Halkidiki, in 384 BC, 15 years after Plato had founded his academy. A truly epic creation of Aristotle's, Professor Boudimos emphasizes, is logic. He was the first among philosophers to envision the borders separating psychology from logic, that is, thought from the content of thought. Aristotle taught his student, Alexander the Great, that everything in the world necessarily has its own essence, and man is called upon to comprehend it. The young Alexander learned from the mouth of the greatest teacher of all ages that for each person, his substance is distinguishable from his qualities, and that in the entire kingdom of nature, the meaning of species is distinguishable from the meaning of genus, and that to say, "this is the world," is different from saying, "why is there a world?" These distinctions made it possible for future scientists to investigate the universe using a correct method.
A truly immortal creation of Aristotle in the domain of logic is his theory of the syllogism as well as his theory of scientific justification. For Aristotle, our everyday conclusions must not be confused with scientific proof.
For science, the process of justification rests upon certain axioms, which, even though they cannot be proven, can still pertain to a dynamic attribute of the mind, intuitive knowledge, the knowledge of philosophers. Man can understand, measure, and prove something that concerns part of the whole, because it is observable. However, as for the whole, apart from the fact that it is unfathomable, and this because it is infinite, immeasurable, and unobservable, man calculates, assumes, and reaches certain indirect and hypothetical conclusions, but is unable to prove them. At this point, philosophy begins, disregarding the exterior interpretation of things and penetrating into their interior content.
For Aristotle, God is the unmoved mover. He is not moving, he is the cause of motion. To give an example, think of a child walking in front of a store and sees the chocolate inside the window, and the child starts licking, so to speak, that chocolate. The chocolate is the God, so to speak, that caused the child to move. This is, I think, an example that gives the essence of what is God according to Aristotle, the unmoved mover.
Aristotle seeks the essence of being only in specific and given empirical realities. That essence cannot be given to a subject, but it is contained within it. Put succinctly, being is not given as a predicate, but as a subject only, and it is described from a personal standpoint. Thus, God, for each man, is personal.
Einstein devoted the last years of his life to research, to discover a unified theory of the universe that would combine all the known physical theories. But he was unsuccessful, and it was totally natural for him not to succeed.
Can, I wonder, a theory which refers to a part of a whole be expanded by its mergers with other theories to constitute a unification of physical theories? In other words, can the human mind comprehend the universal rule that makes the whole, that is to say, the entire universe exist?
Those scientists struggling in the chemical laboratories, on computers, in research centers and astronomical observatories, striving to penetrate matter microscopically and macroscopically, what do they seek, I wonder? To reach eventually those final conclusions which interpret the mode of existence and the functions of the mechanism of all things? And why, I wonder, does the scientific community maintain today that this is what it seeks? Professor Buradimos was in agreement with my views, and I with his. Philosophy holds that there is no absolute knowledge or absolute proof. There is no rule of the function of the whole. There is no comprehension of the manner and the mechanism of existence of the whole, precisely because the whole is infinite. Science may participate in the challenge of interpreting laws, and it may gather evidence interpreting physical manifestations concerning nature and of man, but man's comprehension of the equation, which would interpret the totality of the laws that make the universe exist, is considered beyond his capabilities. Otherwise, he would stand up against God.